Okay, hi. I promise I won't be too long. And I don't know why they put me at the end. But hopefully it's because, well, we have some good news on the clan houses, which we've been working on for about a year now. Oh, I should first introduce myself. Sandra Isaac, I'm from the Mi'kmaq Nation. When I go to the bot lot, I sit with the bears. So, and Warner, I wanted to thank you for this. It was a real honor and it means a lot to me. Oh, so my slide, where's so I hit the green button, right? So this is essentially an update of the clan houses and where we're at today. Oh, these are quite small. So each of the 8 member nations we're entering stage 2. Most of the nations have finished the feasibility phase, and that was quite the process because you do everything from community consultations all the way up to, the physical work on the ground, and it's just a lot of work. But what I mostly enjoyed about finding the location is also meeting with the people in community, because all of them get very excited, and there's a lot of input from them as well. So the feasibility studies have been completed for Cheslata, Skintai, Skintai and Nitai Bun. Nitai Bun is actually going to finish up this week, so I've included them. Stalatin, Notley, and Sycus, they're still awaiting site location, although I spoke with Chief Michelle today, and the site location is pretty secure now. So we'll just proceed to stage 2. Stage 2 is design, and followed by stage 3, which will be construction of the clan house. And then, and I wanted to add that with Suatin, they're a few weeks away too from feasibility. They have to do a couple more community engagements, and then that should be done. When I talk about the clan house, I can't help but talk about history. And in this particular case, I'm talking about like pre-contact history. The clan houses, before contact, the tribes looked after their children. The children and families were taken care of. So with the laws having just recently been changed and upheld in the highest court in the land, we can now proceed with resuming that jurisdiction and taking care of our children, and based on our inherent right to take care of our families, which we've always done. So the clan houses, when they're established, the goal is, and it's always been CSFS's goal, and they've always been poised to take over jurisdiction of children and families and pass their own laws. So this has been an ongoing dream, and it's finally coming true. And now we're at that point in history where the laws are in our favor. We can actually pass our own laws. They will be Section 35 protected in the Canadian Constitution. No government can come along and override those rights. They're ours, they're entrenched. So, and then these will be based on the bot lot, the principles and laws of the bot lot system. And I always use that photograph of the children because it's my favorite. I think they're in front of a clan house too. I refer to it as the clan house as revolutionary, and the reason I do that is because it's been 150 years of assimilation policies and laws that have barred us from exercising our right to continue to care for our children as we did in pre-contact days. So we're getting out of these colonial regimes, and now we have this right to recognize how we did it traditionally, how we did it before contact. So with the bot lot, when I did the early historical studies, the part of the rationale behind having the big giveaways was to ensure, and I use the word ensure, like an insurance policy, to ensure the care of children in the event of a child becoming orphaned. And I thought that was the most amazing thing. And so our people knew what to do. They knew how to, they knew the clan, if would take care of the child within the clan system. So it's a beautiful system, and it's to me, I call it revolutionary because we can exercise it again after 150 years of colonial regimes. And Warner pointed out this morning that the botlat was outlawed, and it started in 1885 to 1951. They only changed the law in 1951. And then the residential schools, the first residential school opened in 1833, somewhere in Manitoba, and then it took over the rest of the country in the 1880s. And then that was followed by, it just goes on, the 60s scoop, the Indian Act changes of 1951. So we've had this ongoing, basically dispossession of our children, losing our children at all these various stages. So now we've come to this point. And that's why I call it revolutionary. So that what they did in the botlat was, they would have this big ceremony, big giveaway, and again, it was viewed as a notarial act because it had to be done in the public, and it was just a really great system. And I think, reinvigorating those laws is what CSFS wants to do. So. And I've just repeated myself. So with the clan houses, the community no longer, see, I can't see it from here. Oh, will allow our children to be apprehended. So, and the clan houses are going to be built in each of the communities. So you can exercise your laws. Children will be protected. There's going to be interventions, in the future. We're not going to call them apprehensions. So, and there will have elders working with the community, with CSFS staff, matriarchs. It'll be a whole new world, and that's what makes it revolutionary. So instead of provincial laws applying, because they have not worked for our children, we still have high numbers. Everyone knows this fact, and it'll change in the future. So I've already mentioned Section 35. I won't get into details about all this stuff. So the whole point about it's basically that child removal system, which has been going on for centuries, will no longer be. That will be over. We take control of our children, keeping them at home, in their clans, and in their culture. So that's the main point. The main purpose of the clan house. And it's so exciting. People in the communities get very, very excited because they realize, this is how they did it before contact and before colonial laws disrupted that. But now we want to disrupt the over-representation of our children in care. And then, and this part of the clan house revolution is, it also means CSFS will be providing that professional care and protection. It'll be both prevention and protection, and based on carrier systems of laws. And of the land-based activities that CSFS has been promoting all these years, I think is key to the cultural continuity that is required to keep children safe, because that works. They've done many studies. It prevents suicides. It keeps people in community engaged with their own people. So it's a system that I think it will work. We'll see things change, hopefully, in the future. And at the same time, we're building capacity and cultural competency as well. And then I'm just talking here about how it'll change the future. There'll be more housing, more land. We're working on that too. It'll just lead to great changes for the children in the future. So this is the clan house for Skintyee. that's the first rendering from the community consultations that came out of the feasibility study. So CSFS strategy is to develop these operational plans and training for the future. That's what they're working on now. So I use this as an example. Just as the architects develop these blueprints, so too does CSFS have to make these operational plans and make them the blueprint for the future of the child and family services and our laws. So that's Skintyese. That was their big dream. This is how they wanted to have it. And this is the blueprint so far, the rendering. The indoor and outdoor spaces for the clan houses from all the communities, virtually all of them, they want the indoor and the outdoor spaces to be important. They're important elements for the well-being and health of the child and happiness of the child. But they all want smokehouses, playgrounds, medicinal gardens, and just places for children to explore. So the outdoor is just as important as the indoor. And again, it goes hand in hand with the cultural land-based teachings and philosophies that CSFS strives for. So that's just an example of what these buildings may look like. I wish I had more pictures. And then I just wanted to end on, I've gotten to really respect these architects, and now I read architect books and do all this weird stuff, go to museums. The design of buildings in natural settings, whether urban or rural, and a lot of ours are rural, must be responsive to the earth out of which they arise and the sky against which they are seen. And so the clan house basically represents the realization of these dreams and represents, again, like I said, prevention and protection, both. And it will dramatically disrupt the number of children in care through a transformation praxis of cultural continuity. And that's the key. Culture's the key for, I think, everything we've talked about today. So I just want to end on this note, that it gives us the freedom to follow our vision of how we want to protect our children in the future. Oh, and this is Cheslada's rendering, their first drawing. They've got they wanted lots of window. They wanted it on one floor. Most of them want it all on one floor. But then we're still going through, we're not done all the feasibility studies yet, but they're just about there. But we're going to phase 2, which is design, and again, followed by construction, phase 3. So I'm starting the applications for phase 2 next week. So any questions that anybody might have about the clan house and the historical meaning? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ernie. Thank you, Sandra, for your presentation. Tracy, thank you for your presentation as well. So I'm from Takla Nation, which is one of the Sekene nations, which means people of the stone. And what that means is there's a creation story behind that. And as part of Carrie County Family Services, the values and the principles of the Sekene people are distinct, and they are, in a way, the Bathlas system is actually quite new to the Sekene people in the last 100 years or 150 years that we've adopted that in Takla. The other Sekene nations, like our relatives further east, they don't practice potlatch. It's a different system. So I just wanted to make people aware that there are distinct differentiations between the groups of people. And when you refer to the history and doing all these things, it's important that when we build these clan houses, that there are the values of how people can re-identify with their culture, because a lot of this was disrupted, like you say, since the 1800s. So the practices and all that, and like it's innately within us to to be who we are and show up in our authentic selves as Indigenous people of this land. So with the cultural houses, or the clan houses, I'm looking to see if there are plans being put forward for professional housing in these communities to support the operations of these centers. That's my question. And the second question is for Tracy, is to look at the second stage living in Tatchik Lake is great. I think it would be, it might be ideal to look at how second stage living is in other cities, so that people could enter into these recovery communities where they have to participate and engage in recovery meetings. This is what's going to support them and to generate a recovery network. And then there's also the third part of third stage living, where people can reintegrate into their communities. And I'm looking at ideas around land-based healing and land-based living situations, where people who are move from second stage can go out onto the land and to practice their culture and re-identify with who they are as Indigenous peoples. So those are my ideas, but those are the two questions I have for you and Tracy. Thank you.
Okay, the question on the professional services and space for them, that's reflected in most of the clan houses. There's a real need, like we need private space for the professionals to work with the families. So we have an assortment of spaces like that, and that are reflected in each of the clan houses, especially in the rural areas where you have to bring the professionals in, and they have to stay there, they have to live there for a certain period of time. So that's all been addressed, and they came out in all the community consultations. So that's when we address those spaces, and they're very important to the future operation of the clan house. Yes. Sure.
Thank you, Masai Cho, for the 150 years back. With all these things that you talk about 150 years back. Now that for the last 2 days that what we're doing up there is taking some all these things that what's been done in the past generations to generations until this day on AGA, that our community of Lake Babine, there's going to be a book that's given out to the people out there, that what we've been talking about, our values of our hereditary chief, that our ancestors, what they talked about from the potlatch system, from generations. Now, we should start that quite a long time ago, but now it's for everybody. It's for nation to nation, because right down to Hazelton, down to Wachota, and right through here, Stalaco, right up to Takla, Pinche Tache. There's all the people that these people that now that they're going to know that we all are related in one.
I'll just see what his question is.
So there's so many of our people that passed on, their voices that going to be heard on a book. And I give Kersakani to thank you for Masai Cho for allowing that I had 70 tapes from the potlatch from way back 24 years ago. It's in the UNBC now, in the potlatch system, the headstone, where all of our, back 24 years ago, of our elders, they spoke about which way that everybody is related to the clan members, and where the land that's connected with the name. All of these that they're working on right now. I told them that yesterday, that government to government, they're still talking about it today up there now at the hall. And it'll be nice for all the communities. Look in the background. Look as your elders. Get a lot of information. Lots of information while they're still there. And you work your way up. You work your way up into write a book about it. And that's what we're doing up there now. All the things that they talk about, our elders. They're going to make a book about it next year. They already did one now. That's what this government to government, and that's how in our own language, in the land out there, that it's got a name attached to it, which the government don't know about our own language. That's what we're doing now. And that's the only way that the government will listen to all of us. We got one voice to work our way up to them, to talk about it. Unite, right from BC, all the way up to Canada. One voice. This is our land. I heard it so many times from the people when we're down in States. These taxi drivers came from Iran, wherever. They hear about us. Why these the governments are telling you guys what to do? Because this land belongs to you guys. They want to listen to us. We should get them to really understand in our way. We're going to approach them with everything that what they did to us in 1800s and up, with all the things that what they did to us, to our people. Till this day, it's pretty important with all of these things that the now generations that they have to learn, the people that are now native, they're starting to understand about what happened to us. So thank you, Masai Cho, for listening to me.
Thank you. I'll just respond to that quickly about the Section 35 of the Constitution. That's our future laws will fall under that, and because they'd be guaranteed in the Constitution. I know it's not our Constitution, but at least there'll be protection there. And our Aboriginal and treaty rights would be recognized, and that's also our inherent rights. They'll be protected under the Constitution, and no new government can come along and override that. So that's important. Any other questions? No? Okay, you have to answer that.
Hi. I just want to respond to Ernie. Thank you for your question. I really appreciate it. Travis and our infrastructure team, Jason and our team, the construction team, we're looking at the exploratory stages for our continuum of care, what the housing is going to look like for individuals who require support after they're done their treatment. So we're looking at not only the type of model, but the type of housing that will be provided. And in addition to that, we're also looking at, because of the location of where we are, just past Saikas, we're also looking at units for our professionals and seeing how we could assess like some of the main one of the main cabins that's there. Can we use that as a professional space, and as well can we provide additional space? And I saw Priscilla Mueller here, and I just wanted to say thank you for her dedicated time on this healing project, because we've consumed a lot of her time when she came to lobby on our behalf when we're looking at our funding and our operation services. So, Miss Priscilla.